Good morning. If you guys are joining the pre-market stream, good morning. Please leave a like on the stream if you can. It helps out a lot. $9.19 looks great. All right, we'll do $9.19. Above $9.19. Stop loss at $9.16. What's up, Sal? Good morning, man. Glad to see you in here. And yeah, I'm starting off with Tesla first. I'm going to go through this list of tickers. I have all these ready to go, so I'm going to go through, pick out the best ones. Also put BA on top watch, just using the supply demand zones, not using TA routine. And as you can see, we're sitting on a support with 150 as a really strong resistance, so BA will also possibly make the list. I'll also be trying to make a swing out of that. We also have, no, not here, right here. If you scroll up, posted ET, some information on that. Posted Home Depot, some information on that. So these are the other two watches I'm looking at that have my supply demand zones. So I'll be looking at those over the next couple days as well for a swing. So be on the lookout for those. Haven't been entering as many swings just because the market is kind of hectic right now. So I'm just kind of waiting to go more deep into some of these plays. But target after we hit 919, we'll say 924. $9.29, $9.34, and then $9.36 to top it off. Below, now this one should be pretty easy. So you got 2 day ago open way over here, yesterday's close right here, which is also yesterday's high. So I'm gonna go for a level lower than that. So I'm gonna go for this 894.40. 894.40. Stop loss at $8.98. Target. Aim for the middle of the range, 888.65. 882. I will say 885, then 882. 880. As you can see right there, 879. We'll just say 880. 2 day ago close, kind of right here, which is also yesterday's support, turn resistance, which was actually used for a good buy the dip after that rounding bottom. So 870 would be a solid target. Something in between that as well, 875-ish. All right, yeah, I think we're good on Tesla. We'll go to Apple. Also, a big thing to be aware of today, guys. So there's not any big Fed things today, but tomorrow is when it gets kind of crazy. You'll have the normal whole Fed meeting, the whole round table and all that good stuff. But you also have Powell speaking after that. He'll be talking about interest rates and all good stuff. So we're going to have to be paying attention to that during the FOM meeting. What are they hiking it up to? If it's 0.25, 0.50, we should be okay. But if it's anything bigger than that, it might not be as expected or priced in. So you might see some fear price action at first. But if everything is priced in, you should see a continuation up after the Fed meeting, not before. So be very careful. But I wanted to point out AMD as well because tomorrow, is it today after hours or today before? Okay, it's today after hours. So be very careful with AMD, Nvidia, any of the semiconductors. We play them a lot, so I wanted to point that out. AMD has earnings today, and by the way, everybody who was, seeing the semiconductors rally yesterday, pay attention. Don't just say, "Oh wow, Nvidia's rallying," or "Wow, AMD's running." Go look. Seriously, just go look around. See why is everything running. Sometimes there is a reason. Yesterday we were running on semiconductors because ON Semiconductor Core pumped out their earnings numbers right before the market opened yesterday, and they did really good, showing that there is some short-term upside for semiconductors at these crazy supports. And you can see they opened with a bullish kicker after their earnings. So you can see they had open, drop down, close. The next day entirely opens higher than that bearish day. So that's a kicker compared to this, where this is just a gap. Price closed here, it opened here. Price closed here, it opened here. So you can see there's a gap, kicker. So there's a lot of bullish momentum sitting here on ON even before earnings. So definitely a big watch if you're watching semiconductors. But I wanted to point that out on AMD because a lot of you are going to be trying to play it. So I wanted to point that out. But let's go to Apple. You can see they're trying to push a new high over pre-market high right there at 158.75-ish. That would actually be my more preferred breakout level is right here. So we'll come back to that. We'll see if it changes. Nvidia, I'm saying stay away from, but I am still going to put it on the list. Because there still should be some volume on this, but I'm going to say above 197.15. Stop loss at 196.40. Target, you could say 198. 199, 200. Below. Below 193.60. Stop loss at 194.35. Target 192.60. 191.55. $190. Next one, Vail. Again, we'll come back to Apple. You can see Vail is kicking ass. They've not just held their extended hours, they pushed during pre-market now. So they look like they're going to try and continue higher. Big thing I was mentioning on the daily time frame is that, let me back it out more. So you can see right here, we had the big rally, big drop, big rally. Big thing I was saying was going to happen is that if they do end up coming back down, which you can see they gapped up, came all the way back down. They're under the 9 EMA again, and now they've gapped down again. So I'm just saying a buy reaction is possibly going to come in, go up, reject 17, and then you'll either see range trading between this area, or you're going to see it continuate down and possibly go test the bigger shoulders at 14.20 for Vail. So bigger time frame action is very clear. We just have to wait for it. For a swing, that is. So for day trading, if you really want to play it, I'm probably not going to add it to the list because I don't think anybody plays it when I do, so I'm just going to leave it off. But for pre-market stream's sake, I really do like the 2-day ago close, considering that yesterday's info is kind of messed up now because of this big candle here. Even if a reset happens, 1689 is going to be a really good target for any open range or beginning of the day scalps. If you're going to look for a passive entry, I would look for this to break. Wait for price to get on top of, reset, and then push higher. But that is a very solid level. So use this as a resistance as well. It doesn't have to be for a bullish breakout. Price can bounce its head against this 50 times today and be totally fine. So be paying attention to that 1689. And then also previous day low. That's a new level I had to mark. You can see all the other blue ones already kind of marked from the bigger time frame. So very, very big price action there at 16. So if it ends up cracking new low,
you'll probably see fear for at least 40 cents down pretty instantly. So be very careful with that. But Veil, very, very high. You know what? I'll just add it as a one-liner. Watching above 1690 or below 16. There. I won't ignore it, but I'm not going to give it a complete plan like we'd like to. On the rest. As you can see here, Tesla, Nvidia, Veil. We skipped Apple. We'll go back to it. We'll go to BABA, PLTR, and Walgreens next. BABA's already up. Cool. So yesterday when we made levels, you can see they ended up just kind of range trading. But yesterday, they range traded. They just kind of sat between that range we set from the bigger time frame and from recent price action. Going into yesterday, you can see they kind of started lower, pushed up, kind of went back to the middle of this range where volume was sitting at this support, turned potential resistance. And you can see we kind of bounced against that as well, and then we pushed above it. So bulls are in control short term, in my opinion. But again, back out to the daily time frame. Remind yourself what can happen here. Pretty big bullish candle here. Now, if reversal was to happen, you're going to see this gap get filled. We didn't see this one get filled, so this one technically doesn't need to either. If you end up breaking over the previous day high, this is going to continue higher to 105. If this breaks 105, there's no telling where it could go. So be very careful with the Chinese stocks. A really cool one to watch alongside with all of them, like JD, Roblox, or Baba, all those good ones. You're going to want to watch KWeb. KWeb is a good Chinese private ETF, private sector ETF that covers a lot of that really good info. You can see Baba is identical to this chart, so really good to trade. Double confirmation alongside of it. And welcome everybody if you're in the stream. I'm just going through the list. We've covered Tesla, Nvidia, Veil, Apple. We're going to go through a few more. But leave a like on the stream if you guys are in here. Appreciate you being here. I know it's pretty early in the morning, so I appreciate your efforts. Let me zoom in a little more and get this level. It's fine. All right, so we're going to say Baba. Above 102.75. Stop loss at target 104, 105. If you want to go every dollar, on most stocks, that's a really good technique to use every dollar out. But overall, always you combine your levels too. Like if I have a level here at 108, I'm not going to skip over 108 just because I want to say 107.50. I'm still going to say 108 or 109, 110, so on and so on. So always add psychological levels for your targets too. So if you ever see yourself having a target that's too far, I'm not going to buy a call here and say, yeah, I'm going to hold it to 110. That's pretty cool. No, it's pretty insane. So what I'm going to do is buy my call, set my stop loss, all that good stuff, and have a closer target. So if I have multiple contracts, I can sell out some to those first few targets and have those runners to the farther ones, giving me a chance to get a bigger winner, but also scaling out some of my risk. So, really good method. If you guys want a video on the staircase method, let me know. Below, I gotta play on the below side now. So below previous day high would be a pretty solid break, but you can see we have a lot of really strong price action here. So any break of 98.85 is going to bring a drop, but not that big of a move probably. So I'm going to set some pretty tight levels on this one. All right, so we'll do below 99.85. Stop loss at, could say 100.50 if you really want to. That's really far though, but that is that PML. And again, guys, I just want to make this clear before I move on. You see me grabbing these more outside levels. If you really, really wanted to and you were a scalper, you could grab, like in this scenario, You can see the true pre-market highs right here. Previous day closes right here. Pre-market lows right here. If you really wanted to, you could take scalps out of this initial range. Under 100.50, above 102. Those could be your entry levels. You don't have to do the levels I'm posting. So if you want to do more tight or more aggressive levels, be my guest. If you want to do more loose levels, be my guest. But again, that's personal preference. It's something I can't be in control of. So if you really want to watch that, be my guest. But overall, I just wanted to point that out because I don't want you to think you're limited to what I'm looking at or how I look at things. You might have a different preference than me. So of course, you might add more aggressive levels or not as aggressive levels some days. So we'll see. But grab your levels and see just how close we are. But below 99.85, target 99, and then I'm going to say 98.30, 97, 96, 95. Might as well keep it tight on Baba. But you can see, though, if they end up breaking 95, bigger play is happening. If they end up breaking over the 105s, possible bigger play is happening. So they break out of that more passive range, you have a potentially really big play ahead of you. So we got Baba. Let's go to Palantir. You see Palantir kind of in the same seat as everyone else, just kind of like up, but not really doing anything. It's just kind of in a range. So mark that previous day high. Whoops. Mark that previous day high. It's pretty close to the close, so might as well just leave it as is. I don't really see any other significant levels that we need to add. Maybe this support here, but you can see it's lining up with the PMH, so no need to go and roadkill ourselves on this chart. But it looks like this is the area that we need to look above for calls. For the downside, again, if you want to have a more aggressive entry, 1064 is not bad. That's the PML. Your previous day close is covered. You have a pretty good resistance, possibly turning support if you look at the 1060s. So you'd want to watch that for a support break. But overall, this is your initial range. So 1055 if you want to use that as a break below. Above 1082 if you want to use that as a break above. Or if you want to wait for more passive levels, up to you again. Walgreens, same seat. Most of the market is. This is in a different sector, though, so that's why I like to add it. And it's a really cheap options chain. You guys don't know what Walgreens is. It's a super, super liquid options chain. And honestly, the price action is not as much fun, let's say, as like NVIDIA or Apple or Tesla. But it still does move. There's going to be days where it doesn't. There's going to be days where it does. So just don't trade it every single day. But this is a really good, smaller, cheaper ticker to work on and practice with if you're looking for that kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and add my levels from it. Watching above 43.15. Below 41.60s. And then BA is one I want to look at. And let me know in the YouTube comment section. We have about 10 minutes before this stream ends. Let me know, what tickers are you guys looking at? Are there any I can look at before we go? And then I think I'm going to add Boeing to the list. Not using TA routine. I'm just going to use BB system. I'm just going to grab as least as I can is what I'm trying to say. So previous day low. We already got our previous day high mark from the bigger time frame. Pre-market highs right here. Pre-market lows right here. Previous day close is right here. Previous day open. Same spot as the pre-market low. The first low it made after opening was right here. Kind of jumped in between this range, kind of fought, and then that's when we broke. So I'm going to use that as a really good level. So initial range on Boeing. I'm going to say above 149.50. I'm going to just add 10 cents to it. Give it that psychological. Stop loss at Damn, I just sent the list early on accident. Stop loss at 148.65. Alright, and that's everything. We'll go through a couple more tickers. I'm just going to post this list. We can go through the rest together. Scroll back up to the top. I always like to get this message at the bottom. I don't even know if everyone reads this or not, but overall, I want it to be the same every single day. All right. So we got Tesla, Nvidia, Vail, Baba, Walgreens, BA. You can see bot BA, 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 BA. We got 4 BAs on the list today. So make sure to go through those. Airlines are definitely a big watch. Semiconductors, just to see their strength, are a big watch. Tomorrow's Fed meeting, Powell, those are a big watch. I'd say those are the biggest things you need to keep on watch this week. Those few things. How airlines do, how does solar do, how are semis going to do with AMD having earnings, Nvidia having earnings in like 2 weeks from now. So we'll also be watching that. I think it's on the 25th or something. So we'll be watching that pretty heavily. I'll leave this up for one more minute, just give everybody a chance. If you are in the server, click on over and go to the BB System channel. You can review the list yourself. And something I like to do in each one of these streams is kind of cover a different channel. So each day I've covered a different one. We've talked about volume and fibs. We talked about the YouTube channel. We talked about the workshop classes, trading strategies, boot camp with the quizzes, the free educational server, the pinned messages. Again, the pinned messages have an insane amount of info in them. I talk about inflation data. I talk about supply and demand, the fear gauge, the candlestick Bible, because we trade candlestick patterns in here very heavily. The basics of Greeks, risk management, 5-minute chart info by the dip scanner, how to follow our alerts, what are we trading. You can see here, the only time we ever enter a trade is one of these entries, besides a lotto, of course, or taking one of those trade ideas, where you're just making something. It isn't any of these. But overall, this is what you're looking for. If it isn't one of these entries, you shouldn't be trading it. This is everything right here. So pretty cool. You could just kind of skip on over to the channel, click on the pinned messages, and learn about anything. You can see Leland and I have been reposting the entry examples for a while now. He even has an indicator with it. So if you want an indicator, awesome. There's even a trading view version. Passive 40% entry example. So there's all types of examples, breakdowns. It's all talked about. You just have to take time to go review it. It's a lot of information, but make sure to go through it when you can. Let's go and finish off some of these other tickers, though. And again, good morning, guys. We're towards the end of our pre-market stream. If you guys are here, please leave a like on the stream. It helps the channel out a lot. Somehow you guys like the other one enough that it got over 500 views. I don't know how that's possible, but I'm giving y'all the credit. So we'll go check out Facebook. Let me clear this. I don't have it charted, that's for sure. I'm going to just jump down to the 4-hour. I can see our recent low was right here. We had a recent high from right here. And then our low of this recent move was right here before earnings. So I'm going to mark that. Let's mark that low from over here. Marking that. And I'm just going to cheat because I can. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to grab my fib because I see we have a base. And we'll go up here and grab the top of that initial move. And we'll grab the control point. You can see we are fighting above that. So pretty impressive. I was trying to wonder where are we because I couldn't see it perfectly without adding it. But you could kind of see we're in the middle of that range. So you should go see how close to that level are we. You can see we're fighting to stay on top of it. So I'm going to be paying attention to these previous day highs. Let's go add the top one. So it looks like it's right here. Yeah, so pre-market high. Pre-market high at 212.75. Add your PML at 209.90s. That's an insane initial trading range for Facebook. You almost don't need another level. That's almost all you need. Keep on watch for above 212.75 or below 209.90s. I'll add this in the trade floor. All right, it's on the trade floor. Good find though. King of Facebook, ST, good stuff. American Airlines, just quickly going through these again. Not having as much time as the rest, as much time to prepare. But as you can see, I have a lot of lines here for American Airlines already. So American Airlines, sorry, my dog was barking. You can see that we got kind of a slight inverse, slight head and shoulders on top of a really, really strong support of 18. So we're going to be watching that. If you go over down here and zoom in, there's a kind of a strong resistance here. So we need to see over that. If you see this break, what are two really high probability areas to watch? The rejection points. This small hill point we have here. And the first time we actually kind of had our rally was here. So we got three really, really good spots to watch. 3 times that we pushed up and made that our resisting trend line. So it's going to be 3 areas to watch if we can break over it. So it looks like if you can get over the 1880s, about the 19 area, and also out of that trend change, these are 3 areas you can look forward to. Also watch this alongside JETS. That's the airline ETF. So if you ever need help looking at something that you don't want to go look at Boeing, you want to go look at something that actually relates to American Airlines, I would go watch JETS, as you can see. So really easy to watch. Kind of like I said on BABA, you'll always have something to watch alongside of it. You don't need to be watching SPY or NASDAQ to watch BABA. You need to be watching KWEB. Same for American Airlines. You need to be watching JETS. So that's my big thing with American Airlines on the bigger time frame. Smaller time frame, you can see we got the previous day low, previous day high. Previous day opens up here, previous day closes way up here. So nothing really extra to add. Maybe add your PML. Looks like you have bottom side of your pre-market action right there. And also maybe right here, just because this is kind of where you drop to. It's where you feel support to. And we were kind of looking at this on Facebook, Boeing, where there was just that drop. There was no levels in between from the bigger time frame, so we end up finding our own that have significance. And you can see big support here. So if they end up breaking the pre-market, they're probably going to head towards that 1830. If they break that 1830 level that they use as a shoulder here, they probably will go try and see if they can make either a new low of day or try and establish a higher low. So I'd be watching that American Airlines. PLA 2020 says DKNG. And yeah, if you back out to the bigger time frame again, just going straight to just recent price action, viewing it for a second, don't add a bunch of stuff yet. You can instantly see we do kind of have a falling wedge squeeze. And if you go to my what chart was that? Home Depot. Home Depot is kind of doing the same thing. You know, it's selling off, volume's getting relatively lower, and it's maintaining these lows and these highs towards giving yourself that falling wedge. So I'm kind of seeing the same thing on that. That's what it just kind of reminds me of. So that's what I would talk about on DKNG. It just looks like it's in a good falling wedge. 2 big areas you need to watch are going to be the support of that first move here, where it pushed up, hit the top of that resistance, and then made that lower low. So that's going to be your big decider point, is that 1527. So if you want to make that more exact, go to the 4 hour. Zoom on in. And you can see I actually got pretty close. It's like 1530. Bottom of that red candle is what I'm focused on. They held it there. They held it there with 2 indecisive long-legged candles. And then they continued high with buyers, showing that they want to at least try and build it up. So that's a really good sign. So 1530 would be a huge watch for me. PLA 2020. If you're looking at DraftKings. To the bottom side, what do you look at? You need to definitely keep this marked. This is where the buyers and sellers agreed that this is where price is being support at 1360. So this is kind of your initial range you need to focus on. Anything in between, you know, if you're going to take a scalp over the PMH, target that level, awesome. If you're going to take a scalp under the PML and take it to whatever significant level down here, awesome. But you need to remember, whatever trades you take in here are inside of the range of 1530 and 1360, that more important, bigger time frame range. ST said Facebook also looks good. Nice base built on the 4-hour. And yeah, we covered this the other day in the Sunday stream too, just to kind of show everybody. But there is definite base build here. I think ST, you were the one who brought it up in that stream. But it has definite base build. You have a low established, it's built a higher low, and you got that kind of rounding look to it on the 4-hour. Some stocks are easier to see this on the daily. Some are easier to see them on the 4-hour. And you can see I have a crap ton of lines here. But it's not for the daily time frame, it's for the 5-minute. So whenever I'm trading, I'm not going to be totally useless. I have everything I need. So you can see above 200.50, we're looking solid. If it can break down, 100 under 198 for scalps looks good. So either of these levels look really good for scalps. I love that chart. I'm going to add that to the trade floor. And then what else? Last one, we'll do Justin Williams. He said, "What's up, Bueller? Did you cover SPY?" We covered it for a second, but nothing in depth. So today on SPY, and I know my chart's ugly. Today on SPY, so you can see we have really big supports here from before where we rallied. That's what we're fighting again. As you can see, if I just highlight the bottom of that and move on to the far right, you can see where we're forming this hammer is right at that low. So that's what we're battling. This is the key area to look at today. If we hold that support, we're looking good for a short-term upside. But like I said, again, the SPY technicals do not matter today. What matters is AMD earnings after hours and what the Fed says tomorrow. So stop looking at technicals when we're looking for market direction. But right now, we need to be focused on, are they going to hike rates higher? And if not, how high are we pumping this stock market? Because that's what's going to happen if lower than expected numbers or expected numbers come out. We are going to pump. If not, we are not going to pump. We are going to range trade, be indecisive, and then we'll have to reestablish what's going to happen. Possibly even see a sell-off. So that's what we're focused on. But again, big area of support that we're focused on is the bottom of that green candle. That's all we're looking at. Again, just a really easy way of saying that's what I'm looking at. In reality, all of our levels are coming from that far left of the chart. If you go over to the 5-day or 5-year daily, all of our levels are coming from over here. But overall, I am focused on recent price action. So today, and I have a lot of ugly drawings here. Today, we're going to be looking over the PMH at 417. So I'll highlight it. Let me keep this highlighted so you can see it. Yeah, you can see it kind of ends up hitting kind of towards the bottom of that price action where we were using it as support, and then we dumped under it, and then we rallied back up. So we're kind of using that low volume area that they were using as support as our big pivot point. So you do not want to see 409.50 break. That is what we covered the other day. That's where the sell-off came from, was 409.50. So if you were paying any attention to any of the levels I've been posting, 409.50 got you in some puts very easily. Today, we've pumped over that. Extended hours kind of held us up a little bit. Pre-market sold off a little bit. We're still just kind of holding in the same area. And now guess what we're fighting? Who knows what candle this is? Before I end the stream, what candle is this? It's the previous day close. So that's what we're going to be fighting today. But I'll see you guys in the chat today. There is no Discord stream, so look out for text alerts in the BB System channel. But I'll see you guys later on. Please leave a like on the stream. It does help out the channel a lot, and I'll see you guys later.